That's right.
Now on from 8 to 10 a.m. It's Grit and Grace with Jennifer and Merideth.
Dang it, Terry. I'm sorry, sir. I wasn't trying to interrupt you. No.
We're just so excited.
I know. We get so excited. We're like, ee. Plus, I love me some of that rock and roll music right there. Yes, Grit and Grace with Jennifer and Merideth. You are not losing your mind. It's 5 after 9, and we're here till 10 o'clock now. 2 hours.
What?
And if you're just tuning in, you missed it, man. We had Chris Williams with God's Garage on, and talk about an awesome organization. The only word that comes to mind is phenomenal. They do so much, and everything it just pours out from his passion and love for wanting to help people.
Yes.
He was saying, working on cars is probably not his favorite thing to do, but helping is. And started from, him seeing a family in need on the side of the road and just grew from there, and been doing it for several years, got a nonprofit certification, then ended up opening a storefront, which we saw, thankfully, on 2854 because we travel that road so frequently. And that's really, what brought us there. And Jen, you were saying you saw an article too. So
yes,
it's just so cool that he was able to join us. And then finding out, good night, 3 months. Could you imagine opening a business in 3 months and then all of a sudden expand like that, not only for helping people.
They are really beginning to get a great presence.
Yeah. And
in this community,
partnering with churches and other, organizations to really help educate and help others in the community too. So then now they're offering educational classes. It's just phenomenal. So again, listeners, we want to encourage you to please reach out to them on their website, godsgaragecar.com. Also on their social media, so you can find out how you can help them, whether it be nominal donations, your
monetary.
Did I say not? I'm sorry,
yes.
Monetary. Why do I keep saying that? And then also, any volunteering of your time. If you're a mechanic,
meals. They need meals for their volunteers. I'm going to hop on that train.
Yes. There's so many great ways to get involved. So want everybody to plug into them and definitely show some love to them, because it's really like helping your neighbor. I think we all know a single family or a veteran's wife, somebody in need. And so there's virtually, at least I want to say more than one in everybody's neighborhood who could, be benefiting from this group. So help everybody. So that being said, we're into our 9 o'clock hour.
Yes.
So, yes, one of the things I want to bring, because, we talked about it last week and it really got me kind of thinking, but I wanted your thoughts too. I want to know more kind of the healthy habits, because, I got my cruise coming up. I want to look all cute and everything. And one of the things I want to make sure that whenever we're out there that I can actually, wear something without feeling too self-conscious. So I thought I want to do some healthy tips, and I'm sure our listeners want to learn some too. Just kind of reminders, right? Because a lot of the stuff we know, we just need to be reminded. So why don't you kick off some of our healthy tips, Sharon?
Well, I think we kind of talked about this last week, but like substituting vegetables for other ingredients. So a big one is squash for noodles.
Oh, yeah.
So you can do like zoodles, they call them. So it's zucchini that they make into, you just like shred it up into noodles. And so you can use that. Spaghetti squash is also a big thing. You roast it and then you scrape it out with a fork and it's like spaghetti. So yeah, there's lots of ways you can use squash for pasta.
So it's kind of like the sister to the cauliflower, to the, kind of the starch substitutes that we just have grown to love,
Right.
No, I definitely love that idea. And I always forget about the squash. Poor squash guy. Poor squash girl. Whatever, the green and the yellow.
I'm not personally a big fan of squash, but I have had spaghetti squash, like spaghetti with the sauce, and it was actually not bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, squash to me is so mild, like cauliflower, so I don't know how you could hate it. So I'm just going to say, don't be mean to my squash people, because they're mild.
Well, I just said I don't care for it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's...
I didn't say I hated it.
Oh, okay. Hate is the strong word.
I don't hate much of anything. I do hate onions. But anyway, I digress.
Okay.
I digress.
All right. Well, no.
Yeah, it's a good way to get vegetables in to your kids, and they may not always know.
No, and that's right. And one of the tricks is you don't tell them. I've learned from the...
Exactly.
Because I made the mistake of trying to enlighten my son how cool it would be to have it. And I totally ruined. Parent fail right there. Do not tell them. do not tell them that you're giving them healthy things until after the fact. If they know beforehand, full disclosure doesn't work with vegetables. Okay. No, just word to the wise there. But speaking of vegetables, that's one of my other tips too, because my son is so sweet. Out of his own money, he knows Mama wants a grill one day, and they're foreign to me too. I told you I'm a late bloomer in the domestication, so I don't know how to do that stuff. My mama grilled a lot, and my stepdad growing up, so I definitely have been privy to it. I just don't know how to use it, right? So my son bought his own, and of course he's learned a lot from his dad with grilling and stuff.
He bought his own grill?
For us, yes. Like one of the charcoal little ones with his money. He's so cute.
I love that kid.
Isn't he sweet?
I love him.
I love him so much. Just kind of squeeze him and lock him up in a closet so he never goes anywhere. I mean, with the window. It would be a closet with the window.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good. All right, that being said, I wanted to do like grilling vegetables. I think they, like, first of all, Brussels sprouts grilled. Yum.
Really?
Oh, good night. Now, of course, we haven't had a chance to do the vegetables because we just got the grill. So we're just experimenting with, doing it solo. And, of course, me being, kind of paranoid because, fire explosions. I try to, we're easing into it. But that is my goal, is for us to actually have a chance to do, all the asparagus or anything like that. Now, I think asparagus would be a little tough, to kind of do. But I've seen, like, corn and all the great stuff. But the Brussels sprouts we've done at the Martinos, or they've done and allowed us to chow on it, and man, it was some greatness. So especially because the cute little Brussels sprout stalks that, of course, I don't buy because they're overpriced to me. The big tree stalks every now and then that you see.
I've never seen Brussels sprouts like that.
Really? That's where I saw Jerry was like, yeah, because the kids love to pick them off because it's like a big stalk, well, like a tree, like a Brussels sprout,
like a broccoli,
like a branch tree.
Okay.
And it's just really
tree branch.
Yeah, like. I promise I don't drink before the show. I just really speak like that, articulate. And yes, I was in communications. Watch out. And I do that on the daily. Watch it. Okay, yeah. So that is really one of my best tips because I'm going to take up on it here pretty soon. I'm thinking tomorrow. Going to put my little man on the task to do some grilling, and I want to grill some vegetables. So you know what? Why don't we tell our listeners some of our social media, because I want y'all to connect with us and tell us your tips, because I particularly want to know some of the best vegetables to get on the grill. Okay, what are some of our handles, Jen?
At Grit and Grace Texas on Facebook and YouTube, and Twitter is Grit and Grace Tex, TEX. They wouldn't give us the A and the S. Doggone it. And email gritandgracetexas@gmail.com.
There you go. See, she was like, man, well, and the reason she kind of had to think for a minute is because we got a lot of ways you can connect with us, okay? And, of course, we invite everyone who's looking to sponsor our show, whether it be some of the segments or, the show as a whole, as a title sponsor. We now have our sponsor package available for those out in the community looking to find some great way to sponsor us in the Lone Star community radio station and everything. So definitely check that out. It's on irlonestar.com, or reach out to us via email and you'll be able to get that. Again, you can sponsor some of the segments. You can sponsor the full 2-hour title sponsor opportunity as well. So definitely encourage everyone to do that. Now back to the healthiness. All right.
Yes.
So what's your next one? You got one more tip for our listeners?
Well, I do, but before I get to that, Amanda from Hockley asked a question. She said, how do y'all get past the smell of cauliflower when you cook it? And
I think it's not as bad as broccoli.
My answer is I think it depends on how you cook it.
Oh, yeah.
If you boil it and then mash it up like for potatoes, or if you rice it before you cook it to make like rice, I don't think it smells as bad as it does if you just like steam it.
No, that's true. And I haven't steamed cauliflower I haven't at all. So I don't know the smell of the steam. Now, the broccoli steamed, whew, they
smell pretty close.
Are they really? Oh, okay. Then I feel the pain there. No, and, I think cauliflower to me, again, because it's so mild, it's such a go-to for some of those, hidden elements, especially if you do not tell your children. Again, I have to reiterate that because that's where my big failure happened. But no, I think that's a great way to kind of, and thank you so much, Amanda from Hockley, you awesome listener, always kind of making sure we are on our toes, making sure we're on it. Or Jen really on the social media, because, she's over here, boop, 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 making sure that she's connecting with everybody online.
Yes.
So, yeah, back to your another tip.
Yes. using ground turkey or ground chicken instead of ground beef.
Oh, yeah. No, I like it.
It's leaner, less fat, less grease. And if you season it right, you really can't taste a difference.
I agree. And my little man, that's kind of one of our go-to. I can't do it every week because, things get boring like that. But we do the macaroni and cheese. We do the turkey meat. And then I get some sour cream to kind of help put it, because regular mac and cheese, you need to, it'll be too dry. You need to add a little bit more. So that's one of our go-tos. So kudos. And I was going to say turkey meat. So you're on top of it.
Okay.
But no, I think between the turkey meat and also just trying to, again, like lunch meats, trying to look into the turkey, the chicken. I think once you find the good season, kind of thing that you can go through and really, since, at the grocery store, I grew up on Kraft sliced cheese, right? But I think really not going to that super processed cheese is one of the best things that anyone could do. It tastes better, of course, but more than anything, it's better for you. So that's my other tip for a lot of the listeners who are like, well, I grew up on Kraft cheese, I'm just, or any of that processed stuff. You just kind of go, I think, just spend 30 cents, 50 cents more, get the, the more, I guess, I don't want to say organic kind, but, more of the real cheese out there, and you'll be able to make better choices, guys. And of course, I hear the lighter color the cheese, the healthier it is for you. So you want to kind of change it up. Now, I do love me some sharpness, so I like me some flavorful cheese. So that's something that's one of my something I need to work on because I love my cheese and my bread, girl. But anyone that can help me find a substitution for bread that would be like bread. I have not tried anything gluten-free, so I don't know if that would make a difference. Because you still have carbs with gluten, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you do. It's just not the grain. I don't know. See, it's foreign to me. Listeners, okay, we're going to have to get educated next week. I'm going to bring you some gluten stuff, and I'm going to talk like I know what gluten is next week. I'm not going to try any, though. I don't think that's necessary. I'm good. All right. So, again, Grit and Grace with Jennifer and Merideth. So glad you're here for our little health share moment. I know I learned a little something, and it reminds me to get back on that, squash spaghetti. I totally forgot about that hidden treasure there on the produce aisle. Can I do it with green or yellow? It doesn't matter?
I think spaghetti squash is
the
just yellow.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you meant spaghetti squash like you could see again, late bloomer in the domestication. I didn't know.
Spaghetti squash is that big round yellow squash. Not the little crookneck yellow squash.
Is that what it's called, the crookneck?
Something like that, yes.
Okay. Well, see, I've got so much to learn. Luckily, I've got Jen here by my side trying to keep me in check. Listeners, why don't y'all stay tuned? We've got more of Grit and Grace with Jennifer and Merideth coming up.